fix that.
Oh, we do have the maps and the ban. And as you said, game 1, Sandstorm. Game 2, Downtown. And 3 will be Safe House. They have the bans for Stormtube and Luxville, actually.
I'm glad to see Stormtube consistently banned. There are actually 6 maps, so it looks like there are both a ban and a pick phase, so teams kind of alternate between that. I'm not sure exactly how that works out, but
of course,
one map is not chosen.
Coin toss. Woo. And then map ban. Choose.
Okay.
Along with the side also. Which side you get to you choose the map and the side you want to play.
What if we have
together?
What if the coin lands on the side, G-Clef?
Then toss it again.
Okay. I was trying to make it more difficult than it actually was. So we know our bans, we know our maps, we know our teams, and now we are going to get into our first game so that we can finally know who will be the second team to advance on to the grand final. We finished our last best of 3 on a Sandstorm, so we'll be starting our next best of 3 here as well. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Your team in the red on offense will be 2K, or 2Kill from Brazil. They will be taking on Vengeance from Indonesia. So let's go ahead and get game number 1 of our best of 3 second semifinal going.
We have everything ready. Let's go dive in. They're pressuring into B a little bit here.
I thought RHC was actually going to back up into that frag, but he doesn't actually take damage from it. Or he took a little bit. He was actually going very, very aggressive, rushing up all the way through road, over the truck, in there to try to find an extra kill there onto Trust, but wasn't able to take him out in the end.
They already have all the cover, control over the road. So they can actually keep the pressure at the same side. No one at pub, but not really contesting it, just getting a feel for the first game. Slowly rotating in. Not even throwing a few grenades in here. Looking for possible bait. There are none. They find none and then Insta says that there's nothing here. Let's maybe try to go rotate here.
I like that RHC has maintained his position in road. He's not necessarily trying to push in aggressively. He's just getting information, feeding that back to the rest of 2K and saying, okay, well, nobody's coming up through road. There's not really an opportunity for us to go here. Just keeping that pressure off onto the left side of the map.
Look at Vengeance. They actually have 3 members. 2 members at B and 1 looking through the plaza towards the alley side. They actually change it, and then that is the timing. 2K will sneakily come into the B side. Ready for the grenade.
Yeah,
gets the angle done.
Down, flips up, gets the angle. Toss it in. Here comes the breach. He's going to try to use that SC2010 to get the very accurate shots over the wall and flush anybody out there. Coming around the corner, and that's actually a big win for Vengeance. They win the 1v1 and defend the breach. Vengeance take the first win, draw first blood in this semifinal.
Yeah,
best
first
of 3.
of a great dodge from all the grenades. He dodged 3 at the same time. He knew the first one was going to explode near the entrance and the exact point, and then he actually dodged all of the damage.
ML God ran forward and drew a bunch of fire, but he stayed safe and didn't actually take any damage here as we get into our second game. Trying to walk across bridge towards pub, but can't really make the difference the distance by himself. Rest of his team just waiting back in spawn, not really deciding which direction to go.
So far, not even contesting to the road, and they are actually baiting. Both of them came all the way outside of the road. They are going to listen and wait for the movement.
Oh no, this is going to be bad. They don't know they're there at all. As they walk out, here we go. This is where Vengeance are going to wrap around the backside and try to get a couple of clutch kills. Here they go, coming around the corner. We're going to see the trap is sprung, and instantly 2K get murdered. Beautiful flank there, an incredibly sneaky play out of Vengeance to come all the way up road instantly.
Yeah, Vengeance was waiting for that moment, and as 2K basically made no sound after a few pre-fires and grenades. They were staying together and saying, we're not making any sounds, and sneakily just crouching and coming slowly all the way out to the road. And that's how Vengeance just got the kill from the side at the same time. They pushed out to the pub at the same time.
Wow, really well played. A beautiful strategy and execution there by Vengeance, and you can really see that they are a little bit of a step ahead of 2K right now. Now we've seen a lot of teams, even the team in the grand finals right now, Tokyo Strikers, kind of fall prey to some pushes like that. So it's not over by any means. I'm going to see which direction these teams decide to push. It looks like once again this time it's Doodles pushing all the way up road, trying to defend a truck. He'll probably have to back off from some nades, but should be okay.
Now does have the backup from A side, has 2 in B and covering the plaza and the back alley together.
Yeah, gonna wrap up through the red plaza, or just at least gonna try to head north through that area. So the rest of his team piles in through the road.
It slowly still has cover, but does have the angle from back plaza. Back alley, watching the B plaza right now.
I love RHC. It's just like gives his scope pointed at the soonest place that he'll see any enemies walking around the corner. Fires in the hole there, actually taking a little bit of maybe not friendly fire, but a little bit of nade damage there as he walks forward. But 400 kilograms is the first one to fall. RHC running forward. Actually, Oscar now around the corner gets one headshot, might find a second one, still spraying, but in the end, it's 2K that find themselves their first win over Vengeance, putting themselves on the board.
Great push in. They broke straight through with 2 kills, going into the B site, and no one coming down from A, and they were kind of far away with the backup. So not really the worst backup, but still they lost all the member. Really hard to break into B once again.
Yeah, nade out onto the bridge and just trying to push guys like ML God back. Doesn't work. Still guarding that entryway into pub. No team really making any committal. In fact, half of 2K are actually still in their spawn. Haven't left just yet, but they do need to make sure that it is safe for them to. Looks like it is. But either the communication not there yet, maybe they don't have enough information to decide where or when they want to go. I would imagine they would strafe off towards B, trying to head up the road or at least get that information there. But I think they're really wary. They don't want to get caught off guard by any crazy strats like that surprise road push that Vengeance pulled off
They're the
last
one
game.
that actually wants to catch them off guard, let them come all the way out to the route and then get the grenade kill and then push all the way to the A side. I think that's what, never mind, the B side, excuse me. That's what they were looking for. That's why they were waiting and throwing that grenade to the roadside. But, of course, falling all the way behind to spot him.
Oh, man, actually a great escape there by DeClint. He barely was able to get out of his position before he got naded out of it. Ducked and covered and made it out alive. So takes a little bit of damage, but he's happy to be alive. And now finally we do see the members of 2K that were back in spawn rotating around through road.
They got all the control over the road, but 2 already waiting right next to the B site. Throws in grenade, but not really going to do some damage.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Grenade comes out, and that's going to force Doodles to actually push forward. He does so, and he does get a kill there, taking out Monses. That's a big victory, a big win, a push into the site now. And finally, 2K have control of B. Or are almost pushing into A. Wow, I totally misread that.
Still have a member coming from the other B site, so it's not totally wrong, but here Vengeance making a big rotation as they're using the time to go all the way around the pub to upstairs and then using the back alley pub. At the same time, will be about the timing actually gets a kill. Down to 3-2 now.
Yeah, maybe even less. Yeah, 2 on 2.
Only 11 seconds though.
2 on
Need to
1.
wait at least a kill. Here, have one waiting. There's no way of defending this one as the explosion will happen, and you need that time to actually defuse. So 400 kilogram will actually wait until the end and catch the last defending moment.
Brazil back on the board, evening it up at 2-2, and now we have to wait and see if they can keep their momentum going. Vengeance are possibly the strongest team after Tokyo Strikers that they could have as their opponent, and they're holding themselves up toe-to-toe Here we go back with Nyang. Once again, 2K hesitant to leave their spawn, going to wait there and see if Vengeance are going to come on by with a quick rush down road and maybe catch them off guard.
They just got the initial first 2 rounds, and because they pushed all the way in, and 2K they took it slow enough where they can actually defend, and slower in a way because they were pushed in for the first round, slowly taking in and approaching angle by angle, really cautious at the moment. Looking for possible baits from anywhere.
Yeah, now trying to push through Plaza. They're not looking towards Pub, actually. Okay, well, now they are, but I think they might actually try to go around the left-hand side instead of trying to push up through Bridge. But it does look like, yeah, now they are returning towards that bridge and pushing both north or high and low over into Pub. There's the nades trying to soften things up before they get in there. Fire from on high gets the long-range shots there, taking out RHC, and it looks like this is going to be a massacre as Vengeance finally able to catch 2K pushing in.
And not really too many fire shots coming out from Vengeance, but Grenade actually picked off 2 kills when they were coming in. So that was the biggest one. The reason why you try to get the Pub, not only you control the A Plaza area from the window out the Pub, and you can actually, you will actually get sandwiched if you go straight into A site. So you do want to clear that Pub out right before. And A site, when you're sandwiched, there is basically no way of defending.
You got nowhere to go at that point. You just get mowed down. You saw that pretty much a picture-perfect defense there for Vengeance. They only have to close things out. It is still a 2-on-2, so we've been talking about how easy that was to defend, but in the end, we still have Wiz and Trust there. And now it's just Trust. He does have a one-on-one there against Nyang. So Trust versus Nyang for the win. The bomb is down. 40 seconds left. Who's going to win the one-on-one? Oh, Nyang takes a couple of shots and has to back off.
Oh, does not see
what? No,
through the smoke. It gets baited.
Nyang,
totally
how did he
baited.
do it?
Should have actually heard that sound, though.
What a god. Yeah, you can hear through smoke. You just can't see through it. Nyang heard exactly what he needed to. And that's incredible.
Not being too cautious at the final moment, maybe getting a little distracted. Seems like possibly some technical issue, or maybe even a timeout right in between.
Did timeouts exist? I don't know. We haven't seen one certainly up until now, but it does look like there's a little bit of a lull in the action here. Just showing some of our players on the screen. Let's see if they can communicate what the issue is and get that taken care of so we can get back into the game.
Just with one more round, Tokyo Gaming seems like their atmosphere is so good. Look at that. Keep calm and go, go, go. That may actually be that may actually be the referee. Never mind.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I think you're right there. I think that was the referee. So it looks like whatever issue there is should be rectified here pretty soon. I hope.
I hope so too. Seems like it's just a restroom break from the players. They have left the seats and they're moving out of the gaming booth for some time.
Yep, but great communication. You can see on your right from Indonesia. It looks like they're discussing exactly what went wrong. One thing to notice as a viewer of this, whatever team-based game you play, these are professional players, some of the best players in the world. Every one of these guys would beat you 100% of the time, well, almost 100% of the time if you were to play against them. And you look at the way that they play. How many people do you see on the screen raging at each other in all chat? I don't see anybody there being toxic. Nobody's threatening to like go AFK. Nobody's just feeding. This is how pro players do it. So if you guys want to take a note and maybe not be totally bad at the game, you can take some notes and learn from these pro players. It'd be a fine, upstanding team game individual.
Look at that. A huge, huge crowd tonight as day number 2 semifinals. And they do have the home team still, 2K, leading by a single round. Only into our first game, though.
I mean, they could be leading by, like, a 2-second advantage or something. And the crowd would still be going wild. It's really cool to see so many passionate Brazilian fans cheering on their home team,
and also to get those great headsets and
that's right.
keyboards.
Yeah, they are there
PBWC.
for the giveaways as well as
Mhm.
supporting their home team, but I'm sure that their home team does need their support. Benjis, of course, are very strong. I think 2K are absolutely capable of beating them, especially with the support of their home crowd, but it's really going to be pretty close. I mean, they're only up one game right now, so anything could happen. I'm really excited that this is a best of 3 as well, so even if they do win, there's still that chance that they could give up the next 2 maps,
Mhm.
exactly like we saw in our first semifinal series. Tokyo Strikers going down early and then able to bring it back. So even if tragedy does strike initially, we could still have 2K advancing through games 2 and 3 if they are able.
Mhm.
Looks
That
like
is
we
certainly true.
did have
Uh,
a small keyboard
mhm.
issue.
So we're having that replaced with a new one. So it's gonna take some time, not too long though. Only has to just bring in a USB.
Hmm.
Maybe an old one. Remember the old one with the mint green and the purple one that goes straight to the main board?
Oh, the plugs.
The yeah,
Yeah.
keyboard and the mouse
So it's not a
plugs.
USB plug. It's like
Hmm.
one of those round circular ones with the pins
Even
inside.
the motherboards that come out now actually
They still
does
have
have
those
they
ports.
still have
Yeah.
it. Yeah, called like PS2 or
Yeah,
something.
it's actually called the PS2 port. It's
Mhm.
not actually for PS2 controllers. You can try to fit those into it. It won't work. Don't trust me. I've tried. So it's a much older version.
Mhm.
And this is primarily because a lot of offices out there just buy a bunch of random keyboards. They're all super old.
Yeah, the default ones
Yeah.
like from Dell and all that.
Oh boy, yeah. My
Mhm.
first keyboard was actually a Dell keyboard. I thought it was space age technology, man, because I'd only ever used like bad HP laptop keyboards up until then. This is like 15 years ago, and I'm like, oh my goodness, a Dell keyboard. This is like amazing. And then I upgraded to a DT35, which is of course a luxury keyboard outside of Korea, but basically the cheapest, most common keyboard you can get here if you're looking for like a membrane keyboard. I thought that
Mhm.
was pretty sick too.
Yeah, membrane is the one before, right below the actual. It is still a mechanical keyboard, but still,
Technically, but it's about the way that you
yes,
interface
it is
with the
not the same
mechanics.
switch
Yeah.
switch mechanics how it
Mhm.
works. It's similar, but the sound is actually different too if you
Mhm.
actually listen to them. Not a bad one if you want to go for it, but of course, I think Cherry is the way.
Yeah, Cherry and mechanical keyboards. There's a spectrum, right? So if you're going to just be typing
Mhm.
Word documents, you probably don't care about the press rate of the keys. Membrane keyboards are totally fine, but the problem with membranes is that when you press them, they don't always press the same distance because the way the membrane works, it bends different ways, different
Mhm.
times. So if you're going for reliability, like pro gaming, and you want to really be precise, then you do need mechanical keyboards. And then right in the middle, there's electrocapacitive, which have both a mechanical and a dome component to the switch, which is right in the middle if you don't want to totally commit. Either way, we can talk about keyboards for a long time. It's really cool to see the keyboards that the pros use. I know a lot of times they'll either have like RGB or maybe some special keycaps, just because they are super pro and probably use their keyboards quite a bit.
Yeah, we see a lot of the color ones, lots of green, blue and red, and it seems like we are back in game. We just have to remake, but still, the score is already up there. Still, 3 points, 3 points, 3 rounds went to 2K, and then 2 for Vengeance.
Yeah, we are still playing first to six, so don't think that we've changed anything. The semifinal, same as the other one. And oh, actually, wow, Doodle's getting taken out as an early casualty. He and Trust trade, and that's going to be an early 4-on-4 here, less than 20 seconds in.
Hmm. They try to push in a little bit towards the pub side, and will get killed.
Yep. So
It's
not the breach that they were looking for, and now actually 2K rotate all the way over to road and are going to push all the way through. All four members here just trying to make a big push into B. There's actually only one person there to defend.
yeah, no one actually in the bump site. Only one in the back alley, and then the B plaza for the backup. And 2K is good to go. Just being cautious and looking at all the sites, throwing the grenades,
Yeah, we'll
and
see
we'll
if Wiz can
safely make
defend
it. And
this. No, beautiful. He climbs up on the box, and ML God gets the first kill on the breach into B.
ooh, they got all this control. Every single angle towards the B site is already being controlled by 2K. The main entrance, the stairs, and the plaza and the back alley together.
Yep, everything under their control. This is just a great position to be in. I think 2K, honestly, at this point, I'm kind of looking for the plant. We aren't going to see them throw it down just yet. They do want to make sure that they have everything protected. Finally, it looks like, yeah, we are going to plant the bomb, and that's going to give 40 seconds to Vengeance to try to push in and even up the score at 3-3. Explosives deployed. 40 seconds left for Vengeance to push in.
Arichi actually securing the angle.
Oh, but he goes down!
The headshot.
Yep,
Misses the first bullet, but
not
comes
the
around
defense.
for the backs.
ML God gets
Plaza.
one.
Already one in the bomb site.
Yep, 2-on-2. Yang pops around the corner and pops one more kill for his team. It's a 1-on-2 now, and I think ML God's got a great position here if he can find this one. Peeks around the corner, trying to get the last shot on Monses. Can he get it? No, Monses with the takedown. Now it's Monses versus Nyang.
Not enough time to actually defuse the bomb, so 2K will be getting another round and making it the 4-2 in this first half.
Yeah, one away from closing out their time on offense. If you can win on offense, then really that is a spectacular feat here on point-blank maps, especially Sandstorm, where it does tend to be a little bit more defensively favored. We'll see if that holds true as Vengeance now down 2-4.
Great way of approaching and opening up space for your own team, as they were trying to go towards the pub in a way, but waiting for the moment. As, of course, they also got a little bit lucky where Vengeance actually pulled out from B side. They had no one, only two to back it up in case they go in. But
yeah, and even then they were like back in the back alley behind it. So that made it really easy for 2K to push all the way in, and I don't think it'll be quite that easy this time around.
Yeah, they do have all 5 from both sides. 1 minute almost spent already in this. The 6th round.
Fire in the hole. It's a melodious sound. This is the chicken crowing in the morning. This is the nightingale.
It's the nature sound. It's the sound of nature of 4
That's
FPS.
Right. You can hear it whistling through the trees. I wonder what version of Fire in the Hole this is. I mean, you listen because you're a great bird watcher or grenade watcher. You know exactly what it is.
Or the Green Lantern, which failed, but still 4-3.
Indeed it is. All right, well, it's a 4-on-3, like you said. 2K kind of stopped as they tried to push through Plaza. That didn't really work around. And God now coming around the
off
corner.
angle to the side.
Gets taken down there. He didn't even have a chance. So that attempted flank does not work out. Now it's up to RHC and Doodles to make it happen. I mean, they're going to try for the plant, but I just don't think it's going to be able to work out.
That is the only angle because the cover from this point right here is already there. So they had to get the one out, but goes down. They know the final one is down here, right next to the yellow.
Yep, come around the corner, close the deal, and plenty of time to defuse the bomb. So nice comeback there for Vengeance that put things at 4-3, but they still have their backs up against the wall. 1 game away from dropping the first half.
Yeah, still 2K. They only need to have one more, as they actually broke into the A side without getting the control of the pub. That's what we talked about. If they can't control the pub and they lose the back alley, even if they make it into A, they were getting the pressure. They could only plant into one site, and they got sandwiched right after. And that's why you have to really control the pub and the same time, and at least the back alley coming from the pub. That's the crucial place if you want to actually plant your bomb in the A site.
I love how the pistol
Ooh,
is
gets the
basically
kill!
It's basically a sniper rifle, right? So if you're wondering why you don't see snipers, pistol's pretty good at that. A headshot at long range owns DeClint, sends him back home the hard way, and that'll set up for a 5-on-4, which may allow 2K to be very aggressive as they try to push through Plaza into pub and on into the A bomb site.
Thought there was a grenade, but it was a smoke.
Yep.
The second one is actually a grenade.
It goes off, smoke stays around for a little bit longer, and 2K have a nice advantage here. How will they decide to push it? It looks like they are going to make their way around, up to road and try to push all the way along there. It does look like only Wiz is there to stop them. Oh, and he comes around and actually Wait, how did he not die there? He peeked for a
It
long
was
time.
dangerous. He actually peeked out after the grenade.
Oh,
and that's
there
gonna
it
kill.
is.
One more backup actually gets the securing kill.
Yeah, Wizka out of there, and that's going to make it a 3-on-3 after kills come back. So Vengeance firing back and keeping this all things considered pretty even. Still an impenetrable B bomb site as 2K can't make it up the road.
Near the plaza, this plaza B, where you have the backup. Even into this point, you really want to keep your aim right at the headshot. It's really easy unless it's very unlikely for your opponent to actually jump out anywhere nearby. So if you have the headshot line continuously being done, it'll be super easy to just spray and get the headshot. You are actually super close to your opponent at the same time.
Oh, coming up and gets a beautiful breach. ML godlike, and I mean with everybody else dying, sure the round ends for 2K, but ML God, look at that breach! Immediately finds a headshot as he runs up the stairs, closes it out there, and that's going to be a 5-2-3 finish for 2K.
5-3 for the first half, and pretty dominant series. A pretty dominant series so far for 2K Gaming in the red side. They will switch side, of course, and go towards and play once again in the Sandstorm. So far, 2K surprisingly, they have been super patient. It seemed like they have really studied what Vengeance likes to do on this map, and they have been finding holes almost every single time. And they actually broke through 7 times. They just failed two of them. Got all 5 though, so they will win the first half.
And you can see the home crowd pretty pumped up that their Portuguese-speaking Brazilian team, nice save there, was able to close it out in the first half. But the nature of halves is that there must always be a second, G-Clef.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's a hole.
Otherwise, it's a semi.
Well, I guess this is the semifinals. So
yes,
it's like
it is.
the second half of, it's the first half of the second half of the semifinals.
Yes.
Except that it's also a best of 3, and we're not halfway through that, so it's not as a half as it could be. But I love how we have the whole crowd split into red and blue. So theoretically, they're cheering for different teams, except that it's all Brazilians, so they're all going to be cheering for 2K.
Most of them, yes.
Most of them, yeah.
We do have some players as well, and at the venue watching the game because they should be getting all that information about the team they might possibly play against right after.
Very important to watch this if you are a team like Tokyo Strikers who are waiting in the grand finals, or if you're just a third place team and you want to practice or get all this information about how your possible opponents in that third, fourth place match are going to play.
For those kind of angles, you can't really look for kills. Your reflex is oftentimes not fast enough. Human reflex, of course. So it is more for the information. If you get lucky, of course, you can get some shots, but it is more for the information who's passing, going which way, if someone's coming out, and try to bait that out in your own respawn.
Keep an eye here as Wizka comes around looking for maybe a drop down into Plaza to push over, still trying to find any way to break into Pub. That is just an impenetrable bridge right now. So
now with the grenade, they do know that one of them made all the way out to the Plaza A already.
Yeah?
So look at these grenades trying to do the same because they have that information, throwing that all the way, not too far away, but close. Ooh, it takes a decent amount of damage.
Wow,
from that
that's
grenade.
a lot of damage there.
About 70, 60 done to both 2 players.
Yeah, Vengeance at very low HP, now trying to make the breach into B. Coming up all the way through road. Can they get it? They've got the high ground firing position. Can they actually find the shots? No, they get massacred. And Trust and DeClint, the only 2 surviving members there. They're still going to try to make the plant happen at B, but it's only a 2-on-4.
They actually jump into the pre-fire, and then they get melted with the bullets.
It was pretty great timing there, even if it was a pre-fire. Beautiful play there. I mean, DeClint's still firing. He's still taking names, but this should be a 2K victory, if I'm not mistaken. It's still anyone's game, but ML God probably the strongest member of 2K right now as far as HP go. And, oh, there's actually 400 kilos cashing in himself. Trust, the only surviving member, the last one alive here for Vengeance, and he probably will not be for very much longer. Coming around the corner, ML God, he's got a huge health advantage, and so as long as he doesn't get totally bopped from on high, the jump down. It was a nice attempt there, but 2K draw first blood in the second half.
And they nice movements actually tricking them where yourself is and securing your angle even though you're below and you also know that grenade, it's not find him, but still so close.
Yeah, Twill Trust dies and it's a 400 kilos, so that's going to be a 4-on-4. Just to start things off, a little bit of casual damage there onto Oscar as well. But wow, what a way to start things off. So we got a 4v4, but now it's 4-on-2, as I didn't even catch where those kills came in on 2K.
Two from the pub area, and one I think came to back up towards the plaza and was caught again for Vengeance.
Beautiful aim duel, but it's not. It's actually, that was pretty indecisive. In the end, it's again a win for Vengeance as they really come out firing here in round number 2 of the second half. 3-on-1, DeClint going for the plant here. Vengeance have a pretty good shot at this. But Doodles, full HP, and a Dream trying to come around into B.
Yeah, he did spot one of the members, so he was taking some time just to make sure if someone's coming around. Does spot him? Oh, does not spot him at the perfect timing as he was coming down. Grenade thrown.
Doesn't take any
the
damage
information
from it.
because the one coming from the side actually saw him.
Ooh, but he gets headshot right as soon as he peeks into the B-bomb site. And so regardless of the bomb having 20 seconds left, that is going to be a big win for Vengeance to put themselves on the board and tie the score up at 1-1.
1-1. But first half, of course, Tokyo Gaming took 5 points. So Tokyo Gaming in the second half, they only need 4 points. They win 4 rounds, will be game over. In game number 1 in Sandstorm. Let's see the attack from Vengeance. Slowly going into the first. Not crossing the bridge at all, but just attacking from that entrance, first ground. Then going up the stairs to the second floor, possibly looking for the bait, but no one really in there. Not even the back alley. They're actually positioning themselves all the way back, thinking that Vengeance will actually come towards the B side instead. No bait.
I thought they were actually going to push back around through that back alley, but it looks like they're just going to hold there for now. Trust, where's the nade going? Just going to overnade.
All the way into the bomb site. Because they have extra information. They have that much more space to actually pressure in with the bomb. Grenade rushes into A site.
Yeah, coming up into A. He's going to spray his way
4 members
in there. But yeah, all 4 members there to defend for 4K. So that is not the way to breach. Here comes Trust. He's going to try to do the same thing. He has a little bit more success there. Trust with the rush down does find a kill there. Actually Doodles with a counter to take him out. So only, it looks like Wiz left alive.
4 HP.
And
Any spray
boom goes
will
the dynamite.
get the kill. And that's another round for 2K Gaming. Only looking for 2 more to finish this game around.
2 more on the way. That's what they need. And home crowd, I'm sure, is cheering them on at this point. It seems like they are poised to take the next couple of rounds with a lot of momentum on their side.
What Vengeance has been doing, they're actually going back all the way, just like what we had from
2K?
the other 2 teams.
Yep.
Waiting for the spawn, looking for the grenade.
Yep,
Actually pushes up. I think they actually 2K actually pushes out to the roadside. And perfect response from Vengeance. Ooh, loses 1 member.
Yeah, and losing Trust right off the bat is very, very difficult. I mean, they still do have an okay position here, but they haven't really made any progress pushing towards the bomb site. Now we're done with our first minute, 2 more left. This could be a big turning point if 2K can get a 3rd win here on defense.
Yeah, does not wait all the way out to the road. They have more members. No reason to really go extend and lose your member.
Yeah.
So they're being safe. And even if they attack all 4 at once, they have outnumbered them. So only placing one at B and 1 for the backup at the plaza. 3 around A here. One in the back alley, right next to the yellow car.
Early frags out. Can Wiz make his breach around the corner? He might get baited here. Turns around, gets the fire down, and Wiz wins the 1v1. Now he's looking for another one. He's at half health there, but he's got backup coming through. Can he win the fight? No, it's a 3-on-2 after all is said and done. Now 400 kilos coming up over the scaffolding, trying to look for a wraparound, but he can't quite find it. Nyang having to defend 1-on-3? I don't know if that's possible.
Well,
The 2-on-3, I guess.
yes, 2-on-3, but still, C4 just getting planted right now as they are not really shooting down anything. Onto the backside, that's the angle from the back alley, so back alley must be covered by the red side.
Man, with this bomb planted, that really puts the pressure on here. Only 30 seconds left. Nyang tries to come around the corner. Can he find the angles? Right around the edge of the box there. Not enough to find a kill, but there it is, actually, a 1-on-2. Nyang really putting up a big performance here. He's got a teammate to try to help defend. And Oscar,
final shots!
Couple of shots is all Oscar needs, and he goes down. The bomb will be defused, and that is a big win for 2K.
3v2 because the plant, the red side, they had to have an angle coming from the alley, and they were focusing on around too much. And 2K actually using that to their tool and go around to the other side. That was smart play. Was outplayed in that game. 3v2. It seems like the 2, and also has to defend, also has to defuse the bomb, but they buy time. They get the kill. They go around instead of the side they were supposed to. They go around the other way.
Man, these games are actually much closer than I would have expected, and especially with 2K, man. They're really powered up going into this. So all they need is another win. Can they get it for Vengeance? Their backs are really up against the wall here. We'll see what route they want to take. Do they go off towards B? Oh, actually, 2K has pushed up one member right all the way through the alleyway. Is actually backing off right now, so not going to commit to that. Oscar, he's ready for that. Pushing into the plaza.
Can be the final round of game 1 if Vengeance is not able to find any points in this round.
That would be a little bit tragic. I mean, they've got one on the board, but they just need a whole lot more to try to turn this around, and more importantly, keep 2K away from the win that would end the game. They're doing a good job at it.
So far, 2 down. 3v5 now. Going straight in. They're trying to outnumber.
Oh, ML Ghazi to spray to defend his hometown, but he does lose his life, and that means that RHC is the only member standing between Vengeance and losing the game. Or at least this round. They still get to play more after this, but A-bomb site is going to be the home of the bomb for now.
RHC taking the long route, waiting right there at the door.
Oh, tries to spray through that narrow little gap, but gets cut down. A beautiful headshot to end the round, and that will be a second win for Vengeance on attack.
The second one because they had 2 men down, and they actually pushed all the way in, choosing the risky and just having the advantage. Maybe using that advantage and just pushing in sometimes works, but you're taking a greater risk with less of a return by having more members.
Yeah, it's very,
by
very
going
risky.
directly in. Actually, having more members, you need to take it slow. You can't just go all the way in and look for some amazing ones because you think you have more people, but once you get caught by the grenade and the damage, sometimes you can't really push in. That was dangerous, but still makes it out.
Firing the hole as we look to defend both the pub angle and towards B. So 2K really covering their angles right now. Playing very, very strong, very defensive. Trying to come up through that back alleyway is Vengeance. They have at least a couple of members over there with 3 more back in the plaza. So it looks like they might split off towards the road, but still just trying to make some noise there around that pub area.
The one out to the far side of the road. Grenade does not connect to the one that's looking at the backside valley.
2 members of Vengeance now pushing up the alley. They've got a 2-on-1 right there, but it actually looks like Wiz is trying to flank around and make his way into this B-bomb site. The 2 members coming up through the alley from Vengeance allow them to both push forward, but they actually get taken out there. Huge shots from 2K. They dominate Vengeance, and now it's a 3-on-1. The blue team wins, and 2K take the map.
Takes the map with 5-9 against Vengeance.
Mhm.
And actually, he walked right into that headshot. Should have been jumping. That's what I do most of the time when there are fights. And when there are fights of 1v1 and you're the one coming from the side and you know there are only limited angles, I jump in because I know that I'm the one closer to the enemy. And very likely that's going to be near the headline. So I actually jump in so that I don't get headshot. And I can actually body it a lot more likely, which would be just creating a 2v1 situation in the same angle.
Right.
So that's actually a better way, but just straight walking in, and he actually did not even see the enemy the moment he was going to look at the
Yeah.
enemy. He got headshot.
Yeah, not really a whole lot of counterplay in that
Mhm.
situation. You walk up, and then you get headshots. So, wow, what a performance by 2K. They take the first map, but let's not forget how round one went, or how our first semifinal went,
Mhm.
where we had Tokyo Strikers dropping the first map, and all of a sudden we're like, can Plan B do this? And then the answer is no. It was a very long, slow, difficult comeback in the next two maps, but Tokyo Strikers were able to do it and come back. Now here in our second semifinal, even though we did see 2K, the home
Mhm.
crowd favorites there in Brazil at the Mega Arena X5, they have taken the first map, but it's a best of three, so they still need to take one more to close out their victory over Vengeance from Indonesia.
Yeah, but it's downtown, and that they actually played a decent, very first match in day number one. So we'll have to see as 2K brought a win against AOEXE in that downtown. It was
Mhm.
very orderly fashion. The speed was pretty quick. It was against the Russian team before, but now they're up against the Vengeance Indonesian team. Compared to AOEXE, I would say they're a lot stronger in terms of strategy and having the coordination, the positioning of creating angles. I think it's a lot better from the Indonesian team. So even 2K, who won yesterday on that same map, will be put to test once again in downtown.
It's going to be a big test. I don't know how to call this. I thought coming into this that Vengeance would maybe have a little bit of a leg up, but it
Mhm.
looks like 2K are very solid, both offense and defense. They looked very good there on Sandstorm. I don't know what to expect on downtown, but it's going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, as long as you don't have downtime, we'll
Oh,
be
that's
okay.
right. No downtime in downtown. As long as that's the way it works out, I'm going to be excited for it.